stage 5, paragraph page 322. And our last headword was although newer type of lesson.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
There we go. Are the Are the books standing on the table? Are the books standing on the table? No, the books
No,
aren't
their
standing
books aren't
on
standing
the
on the
table.
table.
They are lying on the
They
table.
are lying on the table.
Where is it more comfortable to sleep lying down than sitting up? Is it more comfortable to sleep lying down than sitting up? It's more comfortable
It's more
to sleep
comfortable
lying
to
down
sleep
than
lying
sitting
down
up.
than sitting up.
Do you find it comfortable to sleep without a pillow? Do you find it comfortable to sleep without a pillow? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
find it
I
comfortable
don't find it comfortable
to sleep
without
without a
to
pillow.
sleep without pillow.
I find it uncomfortable.
I find it uncomfortable.
Very good. Do you usually go to sleep before midnight? Do you usually go to sleep before midnight? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
usually go to
usually
sleep
go to sleep
before midnight.
before midnight.
Do you generally wake up early? Do you generally wake up early? Yes or no?
Uh, no,
I don't generally wake
I
up
don't
early.
generally wake up early.
What are the three forms of wake up? What are the three forms of wake up? The three
The
forms of
three
wake up
forms are
are
wake
wake
up,
up,
are
woke up,
wake up,
woken up.
woke up, woken up.
Well, what was the first thing you saw when you woke up today? What was the first thing you saw when you woke up today? The first thing I saw
The first thing
when
I
I
saw
woke up
when
today
I woke up today
was
was ceiling.
the ceiling. Very good. Have you ever woken up too late to go to work? Have you ever woken up too late to go to work? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've sometimes
sometimes
woken up
I've
too late
woken up too late
to go to
to
work.
go to work.
Very good. Okay, next. Okay, so when you look through your bedroom window, what do you see? When you look through your bedroom window, what do you see? When I look through
When I look
my bedroom window,
through my bedroom
I
window,
see.
I see other buildings.
Very good. What's he doing? What's he doing? He's putting his pen
He's putting his
through the
pen
buttonhole
through the
in
buttonhole
his shirt.
in his shirt.
Very good. If you went from London to Rome, which cities would you perhaps have to go through? If you went from London to Rome, which cities would you perhaps have to go through? If I went
If
from
I
London
went
to Rome,
from London to Rome,
I would perhaps
I would
have to
perhaps
go through
have to go through
Paris,
Milan,
Milan,
Paris,
etc.
Milan, etc.
Very good. Would you like a career in the army? Would you like a career in the army? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't.
like a
I
career
wouldn't like a
in
career
the army.
in the army.
Very good. Okay, next. When a teacher puts a cross next to an answer in the written test, what does it mean? When a teacher puts a cross next to an answer in a written test, what does it mean? When a teacher puts a
When a
cross
teacher puts a
next
cross
to an answer
next to an
in a
answer
written test,
in a written
it
test,
means the answer is wrong.
it means the answer is wrong.
Very good. What's this? What's this? It's a cross.
It's a cross.
Very good. Are there any crossroads at the end of the street where you live? Are there any crossroads at the end of the street where you live? Yes or no?
And no,
There
there
aren't any
there aren't any
crossroads at the
crossroad
end of the
at
street
the end of the
where I
street
live.
where I live.
Very good. What color do we use for danger? What color do we use for danger? We use red
We
for
use red
danger.
for danger.
Is it dangerous to drive after drinking alcohol? Is it dangerous to drive after drinking alcohol? Yes, it's dangerous
Yes,
to
it's
drive
dangerous to
after
drive
drinking alcohol.
after drinking alcohol.
Very good. Would you like to live dangerously like a detective, somebody like Sherlock Holmes, for example? Would you like to live dangerously like a detective, somebody like Sherlock Holmes, for example? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd like to
somebody.
live dangerously,
I'd like to live literally
dangerously,
dangerously
like a detective,
like a detective,
somebody like Sherlock
somebody
Holmes.
like
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Very good. Okay, what's the difference between these two sentences? I must study and I should study. What's the difference between these two sentences? I must study and I should study. The difference between
The difference
those
between
two sentences
those two
is
sentences
that I
is
must
that
study
I
means
must study means
study
I
means
study
one more.
means
I must study
I
means
must study
that
means
I have no
that I have
alternatives.
no alternatives.
Alternatives. Whereas I should study
Whereas I
means
should study
that
means
I have
that
alternatives,
I have
but
alternatives.
that studying
But that
is the
studying
right thing
is
for
the
me
right
to
thing
do.
for me to do.
Very good. How do we translate I must study in Japanese? How do we translate I must study in Japanese? We translate
We
I must
translate
study
I must
in
study
Japanese with.
in Japanese with 勉強しなければならない。
Very good. And how do we translate I should study? And how do we translate I should study? We translate
We
I should
translate
study
I
in
should
Japanese
study
with.
in Japanese with 勉強した方がいい。
Very good. Sounds right. Okay, Nick. Do you think people should be more polite in the shops and streets? Do you think people should be more polite in the shops and streets? Yes, I think
Yes,
people
I
should
think
be more
people
polite
should be more
in the
polite
shops and
in the
streets.
shops and street.
Do you agree that students should study hard? Do you agree that students should study hard? Yes, I
Yes,
agree
I
that
agree
students
that
should
students
study hard.
should study hard.
Do you agree that young people should help the old? Do you agree that young people should help the old? Yes, I agree
Yes, I
that
agree
young people
that young
should
people
help the old.
help the should
Very
help
the old.
the old.
Very good. What should we do when somebody's dangerously ill? What should we do when somebody's dangerously ill? When somebody
When
is
somebody
dangerously
is
ill,
dangerous to you,
we should immediately
we should
call
immediately
an ambulance.
call an ambulance.
What do you think you should do if you want to make a lot of money? What do you think you should do if you want to make a lot of money? If you want
If you
to
want
make a lot of money,
to make a lot of money,
you should
you should
work hard
try to work hard.
or try to what? Try
Try
to
to work hard.
work hard. Very good. Okay. Do you correct your dictations during the lesson? Do you correct your dictations during the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
I correct my
I
dictations
correct my
during
dictations
the lesson.
during the lesson.
In a Callan Method lesson, does the teacher correct your grammatical mistakes? In a Callan Method lesson, does the student correct your grammatical mistakes? Yes. In a
Yes,
Callan Method
in the
lesson,
Callan Method lesson,
the teacher
the
corrects
teacher
my
corrects
grammatical
my
mistakes.
grammatical mistakes.
Very good. How can we correct our mistakes in our pronunciation? How can we correct our mistakes in our pronunciation? We can correct
We can
our
correct
mistakes
our
in
mistakes
our
in
pronunciation
our
by
pronunciation
listening and
by
speaking
listening and
as
speaking
much as possible.
as much as possible.
Very good. If you have a problem with a colleague at work, should you speak to your boss about it? If you have a problem with a colleague at work, should you speak to your boss about it? Yes. If I have
Yes,
a
if
problem
I have a problem
with a colleague
with a colleague at
at
work,
work, I should speak
I should
to
speak
my boss about it.
to my boss about it.
Greg, it can smoking cause health problems? Can smoking cause health problems? Yes.
Yes,
Smoking can cause
smoking can cause
health problems.
health problems.
In history, have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? In history, have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? Yes. In
Yes,
history,
in
many
history,
people have
many
died
people have
for
died
the causes
for the
of
causes
freedom and
of
justice.
freedom and justice.
Greg, as we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? As we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? Yes, as we
Yes,
have now
as we have now
studied about
studying
a
about
thousand
a
words
thousand
and a
words
lot of the
and a lot
grammar,
of the grammar,
I can hold
I can
a
hold
simple
a
conversation
simple
in
conversation
English.
in English.
As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As I am not
As I
tall
am not
enough to
tall
reach the
enough
ceiling,
to read
I
ceiling,
would have to put
I
a
would have
chair
to put a
on the
chair
table.
on the
and
table
stand on the chair
and stand up on the chair
if I wanted to reach
if
it.
I wanted
To
I
reach it.
want to reach it.
If I wanted to reach it.
If I wanted to reach it.
Very good. Okay, give me a sentence with the word that is in it. Give me a sentence with the word that is in it, please. Everybody loves
Everybody
that film.
loves that film.
That is
That
everybody
is
I've spoken to.
everybody I'm spoken to.
We will go to the cinema
We will go to the
this
cinema
evening.
this evening.
That is if we
That
have
is if
enough
we
money.
have enough money.
Very good. Have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Yes or no?
No,
I've never broken
I've never broken
any of the bones
any of the
in
bone
my
in my
body.
body.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the plural of life? What's the plural of life? The plural of
The
life
plural of life
is
is
lives. Do
lives.
you think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Do you think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I,
think the
I
lives of
think
the
the lives
poor
of the
are
poor
happier
are happier
than those of the
than
rich.
those of the rich.
Very good. Okay, next. Make a sentence with the word although in it. Make a sentence with the word although in it, please. Although the food
Although the food
was not very
was
nice,
not very
I
nice,
ate it
I
because
ate it
I was hungry.
because I was hungry.
Although you're now able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Although you're now able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Yes.
Yes,
Although I'm
although
now able
I'm now
to
able
hold a
to
simple
hold a
conversation
simple
in
conversation
English,
in
I
English,
think I
I
should
think
keep
I
studying.
should keep studying.
Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Yes, some
Yes,
people are
some people
always
are
happy
always happy
although they have
although
problems
they have
in
problems
their lives.
in their lives.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word. Okay,
Okay,
repeat. Cook,
cook,
tasty,
tasty,
pasta.
pasta.
Very good. Okay, listen. Cook. The word cook can be a noun and a verb. As a verb, it means to make a meal or food. As a noun, it means someone who prepares and cooks food. For example, my mother makes good food. She's a good cook. Tasty is an adjective. Food that has good taste or pleasant taste is tasty food. For example, there's a restaurant near here that cooks tasty food. Pasta is a noun. It is an Italian food made from flour, eggs, and water, and cut into various shapes, usually eaten with sauce. For example, it's easy to cook pasta. Let's practice. Is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's a
there are
restaurant
there are some restaurants
near here
near
that
here
cooks
it's,
tasty food.
that cooks tasty food.
Is it difficult to cook pasta? Is it difficult to cook pasta? No, it
No,
isn't
it
difficult
isn't big difficult
to cook
to cook
pasta.
pasta.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Very good. Are you a good cook? Are you a good cook? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm
don't.
not a good cook.
I'm not a good cook.
Very good. Next repeat independent.
Independent.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word independent is an adjective. It means not governed or controlled by another country, independent country. It also means being confident and able to do things by yourself. For example, I think that all the countries of the world should be independent. An independent person is a person who can supply on his own. Let's practice. Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think that
I
all the
I think that
countries
all the
of the
countries
world
of the
should be
world
independent.
should be independent.
Very good. Next, repeat. Origin.
Origin.
Very good. Okay, listen. Origin is a noun. It is the beginning of something. For example, the origin of the Callan Method lesson is in London. Many European languages have their origins in Latin. Let's practice. Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Yes, many
Yes,
European
many
languages
European languages
have their
have
origins
their
in
origins
Latin.
in Latin.
Very good. Next repeat, belong to.
Belong to.
Very good. Okay, listen. Belong to is a phrasal verb. It means to be someone's property of if something belongs to someone, they own it. For example, this pen is mine or this pen belongs to me. Another example is if a factory belonged to me, I think I would be able to make a lot of money. Okay, let's practice. Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? I don't take
I
that
don't
book
take
home with
that
me
book home with
after the
me
lesson
after the lesson
because it doesn't
because
belong
it
to me.
doesn't belong to me.
Very good. Who does this pen belong to? Who does this pen belong to? That pen
The pen
belongs to you.
belongs to you.
If a factory belonged to you, do you think you would be able to make a lot of money? If a factory belonged to you, do you think you would be able to make a lot of money? Yes. If a
Yes,
factory
if a
belonged to me,
factory belonged to
I
me,
think I would be
I think
able
I would be
to
able
make a lot of money.
to make a lot of money.
Very good. Next, repeat could,
Could,
vice versa.
vice versa.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word could is a past of can, but we can also use could instead of would be able in conditional sentences. The word vice versa is an adverb. It is used to say that what you have just said is also true in the opposite order. For example, she doesn't trust him and he doesn't trust her, vice versa. Okay, let's practice. What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? We can use could
We can use
instead
could
of
instead
would
of
be able
would be
in
able
conditional
in
sentences.
conditional sentences.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If I was a bird,
If I was a
I
bird,
could fly.
I could fly.
Very good. Okay, now I'm going to ask you some questions with the word could, and you answer with the word would be able and vice versa. Okay. Number one, if you were very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? If you were very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? Yes. If I were
Yes, if I
very,
were
very tall,
very, very
I
tall,
would be able
I would be
to touch
able
the ceiling.
to touch the ceiling.
If you were a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? If you were a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? Yes. If I
Yes,
were a
if
doctor,
I are doctor.
what? Yes. If I
Yes,
were a doctor,
if I were a doctor,
I could help
I
people
could help
who
people
were ill.
who are ill.
Very good. One more. Yes. If
Yes,
I were
if
a
I
doctor,
were a doctor,
I could help
I could
people
help
who
people
were ill.
who are ill.
Very good. If you were as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? If you were as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? Yes. If I
Yes,
were
if I
as
were
strong as a
as
horse,
strong as a horse,
I would be able
I would be
to lift
able
a man
to lift a
above
man
my head
above my
with
head
only one hand.
with only one hand.
Very good. Next, repeat throw.
Slow.
Very good. Okay, listen. Throw is a verb. When you throw an object that you are holding, you move your arms quickly and let go of the object so that it moves through the air. For example, I'm throwing my pen in the air. I don't think I could throw a stone further than you can. Let's practice. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're going to throw
You're
your
going
pen
to throw your
at the
pen
window.
at the window.
Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Yes, I think
Yes,
I
I
could
think
throw a
I
stone
could throw a stone
further than you can.
further than you can.
Very good. Next, repeat alive,
Alive,
dead.
dead.
Very good. Okay, listen. Alive and dead are both adjectives. Alive is the opposite of dead. It means living, not dead. Dead means not alive. For example, we are alive. We're not dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Napoleon is dead. Let's practice. Is Napoleon alive? Is Napoleon alive? No. Napoleon
No,
isn't alive.
Napoleon is alive.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Very good. Next, repeat. Drop.
Drop.
Go without.
Go without.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word drop can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, it means to let something fall. For example, I'm dropping my pen on the table. As a noun, for example, a drop of water. Go without means not to have something that you usually have. Okay? For example, the longest time I have ever gone without drinking a drop of water is half a day, 12 hours. Let's practice. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're dropping
You are
your pen
dropping your pen
on
on
the
the
table.
table.
Very good. What's my pen doing? What's my pen doing? Your pen's dropping
Your pen's dropping
on the table.
on the table.
Very good. What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? If you drop
If
a
you
glass
drop a
on
glass
the floor,
on the
it
floor,
would break.
um, it would break.
Right? What's the longest time you have ever gone without drinking a drop of water? What's the longest you have ever gone without drinking a drop of water? The longest
The
I've
longest
ever gone
I've ever gone
without drinking
with
a
drinking
drop of water
a
is
drop of water is
1 hour, 5 hours, 6 hours, one day,
1 hour.
1 hour. Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Seems like you like
Okay,
water so much. Okay, reading is at stage 3, paragraph page 209. Okay, and our last head word was pure. Okay, let's start with promise.
okay.
209, promise.
2
209, 209.